Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Early Bird Betting Show here, presented by the Coda Sports Gambling Network. Of course, you can follow the Coda Cappers Sports Network on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, of course, at Coda Cappers. And if you notice, you'll just see me and a black screen on the other side of your screen here. So sorry about that. Kyle's having some difficulties with his video, but hey, Kyle is still here. It's June 9th. It's Wednesday. It's a good day to be alive. So, Kyle, how are we doing back there?
Not too good right now. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Me and DJ recorded Gambling Feud. It worked just fine yesterday, and now I can't get it to work this morning for some reason.
Well, that's all right, Kyle. All that matters is we can hear you. We can hear your great analysis and your picks here for today on Wednesday, June 9th. So, how'd you finish up yesterday, Kyle?
Finished 2-3 yesterday. Had a couple things didn't go.
Oh, did we lose Kyle? We might have lost Kyle. All right. Well, Kyle will. We'll see.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, he's back. Kyle is back. Okay. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So as I was saying, I finished 2-3. The Clippers. I had the Clippers money line. They lost by 3, so that was tough. I had the Avalanche and Vegas Golden Knights over 5.5. That was 5, so that was tough as well. So I had a couple close calls, but honestly, under 500. But I could have been 4-1. So
yeah, absolutely could have been good. But man, that Vegas Golden Knights game and Avs game, I actually fell asleep, and I feel bad. Well, it sucks that I missed it. Obviously, the Golden Knights won it in overtime, but I went to bed and I was like, oh, Colorado's has this, right? They're going to go up 3-2. Woke up early, looked at the ESPN app, and the Knights had won. And I'm like, whoa, what happened here? So I had to go back and kind of rewatch the recap and kind of stunned that Vegas Golden Knights now up 3-2, won 3 straight.
Yeah, exactly. It's been weird, this whole NHL playoffs, to be honest.
Yeah, I know you and DJ talked about it on the Gambling Feud podcast. Again, if you haven't checked that out, episode 18 just released this morning on Spotify, Google Play, and of course Apple Podcasts. But I think DJ's mic drop, one of the greatest segments of all time in podcast history, out of all the podcasts, is the mic drop segment, and just what's going on in Canada, right? The Canadian hockey teams, obviously the Maple Leafs, whatever happened there, and then now Montreal is kind of the sneaky, obviously the underdog, but the sneaky team there remaining in the NHL playoffs as they just keep getting it done and keep advancing. So some weird things in the water up there.
It really is. And, like you said yesterday, me and DJ talked about it during his mic drop, and he just said, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the Maple Leafs had the opportunity to win. They were up 3-1, didn't win. And then the Jets, who swept the Oilers, got swept by the Canadiens. It just doesn't make any sense.
Very, very strange. But that's why we love postseason, not only hockey, but postseason basketball. And, of course, we had 2 games last night as the 76ers got it done against the Atlanta Hawks, 118-102. The Hawks they did what they needed to do, right? They were going into Philly, and they're like, hey, we need to get one game on the road here. They got the first game. They lost the second game. Now that series is tied 1 apiece as it heads back down to Hotlanta. And in the other game, we had Utah Jazz taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. The Jazz got it done 112-109. The over was a push for a lot of people, and even that spread too was a couple pushes for some people out there that I know. So Kawhi Leonard 23.7 rebounds, 3 assists, but Donovan Mitchell stole the show here, 45 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Of course, the Clippers really had control in the first half. They outscored the Jazz 25-18 in the first quarter and 35-29 in that second quarter. But something flipped there in halftime. Dan Snyder and the crew and the Utah Jazz got it done, outscored the Clippers 32-19 there in the third, and then 33-30 in the fourth quarter. So the Clippers did have a chance to win, right? At last possession, 14 seconds to go. Kawhi didn't shoot. Luke Kennard didn't shoot. Paul George didn't shoot. But it was the Morris brother. He shot, got blocked by Rudy Gobert. And great defensive possession, really, from the Utah Jazz there with under 15 seconds to play. And the Jazz take one at home. So, Kyle, out of those 2 games, just a little recap. Did you watch any of those?
I watched that Clippers Jazz game, and I'm just wondering what the heck Ty Lue is thinking when you got PG, you got Kawhi Leonard on your team, and you want Marcus Morris to shoot the final shot. That just didn't make any sense to me. So that was really, really strange. Obviously, that was a great game going back and forth. Donovan Mitchell was spectacular last night, but I think Kawhi is due to have a lot better game for how hot he's been this playoff so far. I think he'll bounce back for sure.
Absolutely. Kawhi, yeah, I was on his points, rebounds, and assists. He didn't get that. I believe it was at 40.5. He fell quite a bit short of that, but we move on. And Kyle, I coming into yesterday, I was 8-2 in my last 2 days. Yesterday was a bad day. And I don't know, the Coda Cappers, like you said on the Gambling Feud podcast, we're down, we're not out. But I still blame all of our struggles here, Kyle, on Toast leaving the network to start June here. I think that's why we're struggling. We lost the glue to the network.
We absolutely did, and just DJ said it best. It just hasn't been the same since Toast has been gone, and I've texted him several times just saying we really, really want you back. Haven't heard a response from him yet, but it's just I hope he comes back from this slump just so he can join the network again. But yeah, absolutely, our struggles are because Toast is gone for sure.
His slump is turning into our slump now as we are fighting to get to positive units. But hey, it's early. It's only June 9th. And tonight it starts here, Kyle, in the NBA. Of course, game 2, the Denver Nuggets taking on the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix -5.5. The over-under 222.5, excuse me. So out of those lines there, Kyle, what are you looking here for tonight?
I'm supposed to be cheering on the Suns or the Nuggets this playoffs, and I have been doing a good job of it, and I have been a big Nuggets guy, but I got to go the Suns here. They've just been playing really, really good basketball. That last game they played, 4 out of the 5 starters were in 20-plus points, and it's tough to bounce back from that. So I like the Suns -5.5 here.
All right. I don't have a play on the number yet here, on the spread here. I'm leaning the Suns. I like that number 2, but I like the over here, 222.5. The over hit in the first game, and Denver did not play well offensively. Phoenix obviously played pretty well. They knocked down a fair amount of three-pointers. Jay Crowder was getting in the mix. Obviously, Devin Booker. And then Chris Paul, late in that fourth quarter, was just having a phenomenal quarter there to wrap it up and get that Game 1 win. But I think the over hits here, again, 222.5. Again, it hit 221.5 in the first game. And Denver did not play well. They only scored 105 points. So I think they bounced back. I lean the Suns, but I think my play here for sure is the over of 222.5.
Yep. That's a good move, too, especially with these two teams. Like you said, the Nuggets didn't play very good, and that over still hit. So I think that's a really, really low over-under for this game.
Absolutely. So there's our plays there, of course, in the NBA. Just one game here tonight. Of course, if you're looking for our best bets, you can follow us on Twitter. Follow the network at Coda Cappers, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But on Twitter is where we tweet out everybody's cards, all 7 of us Cappers. We just added another Capper blogger. He's doing his first blog will drop here probably this afternoon, early, maybe even around noon. He's a big soccer guy, big football guy. So I know we have the Euro, some soccer thing. The Euro, it was from last year and it now carried over because of COVID. So it's a Euro 2020 Cup, I believe it's called. And he has a couple plays in there, and he'll be doing some stuff all weekend. And hopefully he's a good guy. His name's Dan, and you can follow him on Twitter when he tweets out his stuff and kind of announces that he's joined. So it should be fun. He's going to be doing some blogging for us. He'll be on next Thursday's, not this week, but next Thursday's podcast, the Mount Lockmore podcast with B. Russ and I. So if you want to learn more about him and what he's all about and where he's been and what he's going to be up to or what he's going to do, you can find him on the Mount Lockmore podcast next Thursday's episode there. So, all right, Kyle, we have one game here in the NHL. The Boston Bruins, the New York Islanders. We're headed back to the Coliseum. Of course, the Islanders lead this series 3-2. They stole one in Boston last game, 3-2. But Boston on the road is a favorite here, -135. The over/under is at 5. Vegas hoping for a Game 7. Kyle, what do you like here? Did we lose Kyle? We've been pretty good on the show so far. We haven't had too many technical difficulties. I think this is maybe only the second day. That one day we lost internet connection. That wasn't great. But
yeah.
Okay, Kyle's back. Here we go. All right, here we go.
I don't know what's happening right now, but hopefully we can stop this and just keep going. But we talked about it yesterday on Gambling Feud a little bit, this game, and DJ and I greatly disagreed on it. But I think the Islanders ended at home tonight. DJ thinks it's going to be an absolute lock for Game 7. I don't. I think the Islanders are really, really solid at home, and I think that their Cinderella run is going to continue into the Eastern Conference Finals here. So I'm going to semifinals. No, finals, right?
The finals, right? Yep.
Yeah, Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah,
Yep.
I think the Islanders are gonna take the Cinderella run all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals to win it up to move forward. So I like the Islanders money line here.
All right. Sounds good. I know a lot of people on the Islanders here. A lot of people, including obviously Kyle. Pumbaa's on the Islanders, partly because I think I was on DJ's side too. I'm like, there's no way this doesn't go to Game 7. And of course, Pumbaa being Pumbaa, he's like, actually, I'm taking the Islanders then if you think that, because then it will probably automatically cash. But I'm going to take the Islanders here too. I'm hoping for a Game 7. So I lean the Islanders. I think I'm going to take the over too. I lean the over 5 goals here too. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game here in the Coliseum. I just think the Bruins have to, score some goals, and the Islanders will try and keep up with that. And so I don't know. I lean the Islanders here. Little value at home, and I like the over as well. Over's at 5. It hit last game. I think it hit the game before too. So nice little trend. The last 2 games the over has hit here, but I like the Islanders, and I lean the over here, Kyle.
Yep. Agree with both of those.
Sounds good. Of course, again, we're not big hockey guys, but again, we're trying to get into it more. And the Carolina Hurricanes obviously lost last night, so their season ends. That's unfortunate. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are waiting one of these 2 teams, of course, here. So, all right, Kyle, we have 15 MLB games here tonight and today. Some early games, finally. Gotta love Wednesdays when there's a couple early games starting at 1:05 p.m. Central Time with the San Francisco Giants and the Texas Rangers. Even money for both these squads on that money line. The over-under is at 8 as Kyle Gibson, man, I wish the Twins could get players like Kyle Gibson, right? Oh, wait, they did have him. He is 4-0, a 2.06 ERA at 2:37 p.m. Central Time. The Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Oakland A's. Oakland minus 213. Over-under here is 8.5. Then at 3:10, you have the Chicago Cubs, of course. Kyle's squad taking on the San Diego Padres. The Padres minus 213. Over/under is at 8. And then let's see, that's 3 games. We'll take 2 evening games here and make it 5 apiece. At 6:05 Central Time, you have the Atlanta Braves taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies minus 130 as Braves won last night. Over/under here is at 9. Then at 6:05 Central Time, of course, p.m., the Dodgers looking to get another win over the Pirates. They covered that run line last night, got the win over Pittsburgh Pirates. The Dodgers minus 172. Over/under is at 9. So, Kyle, those 5 games, what are you liking here?
I like the Rangers in a pick 'em here against the Giants. Kyle Gibson's been pitched this year. I like.
Oh, we might have lost Kyle.
Did you get me now?
We got Kyle back. Yep.
Papers. I don't know what's happening.
It's all good, my man.
All right. So as I was saying before, my internet decided to go bad on me. I like the Rangers here with Kyle Gibson money line. My book has him as a pick 'em, I believe, and he's been pitching really, really well so far. So I like the Rangers money line here. I also like the A's money line. I know you got to drink a little juice on that, so it's tempting to even take them run line, I think, too. So I think actually that might end up being a move, a little more value, because I can get run line at minus 110. So I like them run line there. And then the last play I got is this Cubs-Padres game. I like a no-run first inning in this game with Jake Arrieta and Yu Darvish on the mound. I think they'll start off really, really solid. So I like a no-run first inning in this game.
All right, sounds good. If you're looking again for Kyle's best bets, you can follow him on Twitter, of course, at Commdog, Kommdog. Kyle, I have 2 plays here for these 5 games. I like the Padres minus 1.5. Darvish, 4 of his 6 wins. The Padres have won by 4 or more runs, so I think they get it done here. That's just too much juice, obviously, to drink moneyline minus 213. So I'm going to take them minus 1.5. Darvish 6-1, a 2.25 ERA going against Jake Arrieta, 5-6, a 5.26 ERA. Of course, like I said, Darvish in 4 of his 6 wins this season. The Padres have won by 4 runs or more. I also like the Braves to get it done again in Philadelphia. Tucker Davidson going for the Braves. He has not won or lost a contest. He's played in a couple games, 2.31 ERA. But Zach Eflin for the Phillies, a 2-5 record, 4.10 ERA. So I'm gonna roll with the Braves, the road dog there, get some plus money, and then the Padres minus 1.5. And those are my 2 bets here, Kyle, for this time slot. As we
I like it.
Awesome. As we look to our next set of games here, we have the New York Mets against the Baltimore Orioles. I got beef with the Mets. I mean, I'm not saying the Mets are great, but the Baltimore Orioles are horrendous at home, right? Coming into yesterday's game, they're 10-20 at home, and somehow they just dominate the Mets and get a win at home. So now they're 11-20, but the Mets now are favored on the road, -130, much like last night. Over/under is 9.5. This Rockies-Marlins game, Marlins haven't decided who they're throwing out there yet on the mound, so there's no line on that, so we'll just kind of breeze past that one. Then you have the Houston Astros taking on the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox -135, as Nathan Eovaldi going for the Red Sox and Jake Odorizzi going for the Astros. Of course, if you listen to Gambling Feud, episode 18 that dropped this morning, you heard the boys talking about the Astros and Red Sox. That was one of their games they dissected, I believe, for today's slate. Then you have the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds -111. Over/under is at 10. Then at 6:10 Central as well, you have the Mariners taking on the Detroit Tigers. I know Kyle and I were on the Mariners last night. The Tigers got the win there, and the Tigers, again, favored, -135. The over/under is at 9. So if we look, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go one more game here. The Washington Nationals and the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay -157, and the over/under is at 7.5. Patrick Corbin going for the Nats. Shane McClellan going for the Rays. So Kyle, out of those 5 games, what do you like here?
Only got one play for this slate here, but I said it on Gambling Feud. Nathan Eovaldi's been really, really good so far this year. 7-2 record, 3.78 ERA, and Jake Odorizzi has been abysmal this year. 0-3, 7.16 ERA. I like the Red Sox money line. I also like them run line tonight too. So those will be my actually 2 plays I got for this slate of games.
Sounds good. I'm right there with you too. I like the Red Sox money line here. Houston obviously took game 1. I just don't feel comfortable backing Jake Odorizzi. Oh, like Kyle said, 0-3, a 7.16 ERA, and Nathan Eovaldi, very good this season. 7-2, 3.78 ERA. So Houston got game 1. I'm hoping the Red Sox get game 2, and then we'll see who gets game 3. I also like the Marlins. Whoever they throw out there, and I guess depends if I have to drink, how much juice I have to drink here against the Rockies. But again, everybody knows that follows baseball. The Rockies 4-23 on the road. So heck, just think if you would hammer against them when they've been on the road. You've been making a little bit of money, 23-4 if that is the case. Obviously, you're probably drinking a little juice there, but these Colorado Rockies are not good on the road. 4-23. They're going with Austin Gomer. He's 4-5. Not that bad of an ERA in 9 games, 4.12. But I like the Marlins here, just kind of depending what the line is, but that's a lean there in this time slot. So the Red Sox and the Marlins. There we go. Kyle,
right.
Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 games left here. The Yankees. Oh man, if you're a Twins fan like myself and Pumbaa, it was a struggle last night to watch the Twins just go up early and then just kind of fold because the bullpen is trash, just trash. But the Yankees taking on the Twins there, Target Field. The Yankees -177. The over/under here is 8.5. Then at 7:10 Central, you have the Blue Jays taking on the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox -153. The over here is 8. Then the Cleveland Indians head to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals got dominated game 1, and they're -125 on that money line. The over/under here 8. Adam Wainwright on the mound for the Cardinals, and Juan Carlos Mejia for the Cardinals. 1-0, 0.00 ERA. And then at 8:30, the late game here, Central Time, the Kansas City Royals taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Angels -145. The over/under is at 9. Brad Keller going for the Royals, and Griffin Canning going for the Angels. So out of those 4 games, Kyle, what do you like here?
Looking at this Blue Jays and White Sox game, White Sox got Lance Lynn on the mound, and Lance Lynn has been absolutely dominant this year so far. 7-1, 1.23 ERA. I really, really like the White Sox money line here. And again, we talked about this game on Gambling Feud last night, but I can't believe that the Yankees aren't favored 200 plus. To be truthful. I mean, they got Garrett Cole on the mound, who just came off a loss, mind you, so maybe that's why it's lower than what it is. And this Randy Dobnik has not been good for them this year. So I'm very, very, very surprised that it's not above 200. Like I said, my guess is because he came off that loss. But this Dobnik, I remember DJ said he gave up like 6 earned runs to the Orioles or something like that.
Yep,
And
yep.
this guy, I mean, the Yankees hitting lineup is so much better than the Orioles here. So, like I said, minus 177 is actually value in my opinion. So I like the Yankees money line. I also like them run line. And then the last play I got is I like the Indians as underdogs here. I like this Giancarlo Mejia that's on the mound for them. He's going to be a pretty solid starting pitcher here down the road. He's starting to slowly get into the starting role and pitch a lot more and so on and so forth. So I like the Indians money line as underdogs.
All right. I like it. Of course, the Indians got dominated last night, but I'm also with Kyle here. I like the Indians too. Not a big fan of Adam Wainwright. He's 3-5, 4.19 ERA. Struggle a little bit this season, so I'm going to roll with the Indians here at some plus money and see if they can bounce back from that not so good hitting performance and pitching performance really in game one there. So, and then in the Toronto Blue Jays White Sox game, I like the under 8.5 runs in Lance Lynn's 5 of his 7 wins. Kyle, the total has gone under 8.5 runs there. So I'm going to stick to a trend there, and he's been dominant and hopefully hold the Blue Jays to 0 runs, and maybe the White Sox score, 4 or 5, and we could cash on that under 8.5. And then, like I said, or like you said too, I like the Yankees here. I'm not going to take a money line. I'll take them run line. Garrett Cole, of course, on the mound for the Yankees. The Twins have lost by an average of 3.6 runs in 5 of Dobnak's losses this season. He is 1-5, 6.19 ERA. So when he pitches, he loses, and the Twins lose big. Now that I said that, they'll probably turn around and win this game here tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, don't curse Pumbaa, because actually, if you listen to the pod, I actually knew the direction Pumbaa was going, and I texted DJ mid-recording. I said, "This is what Pumbaa's going to do," and I was right on what I predicted. So It was pretty good.
Absolutely. So there we go. There's our 15 games in the MLB. Of course, we're still waiting on a pitcher for the Miami Marlins. That will get us to 15 games. But again, some early games here on Wednesday, June 9th. You got to love it. And it's just going to be another great day to make some money. So, Kyle, before we kick you off, I know you got a big day here. Real quick, we got 2 WNBA games here. The Seattle Storm taking on the Atlanta Dream. Storm, 8.5-point road favorites. The over-under 170.5. Then at 7 p.m. Central Time, you have the Indiana Fever, 1-9, taking on the Chicago Sky, 2-7. The Sky, 0-5 at home. The Fever, 0-6 on the road. Chicago, though, a 10-point favorite at home, and the over-under is at 158.5. So, Kyle, out of those 2 games, what do you like here?
I like both the favorites here. I really like the Seattle Storm on the road. I've always been riding. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, because it said my internet connection was unstable, so I didn't know if I cut out there, but we're doing great so far.
Yes, sir.
I like Seattle minus 8.5 here. I just think they've been having a really solid season. I've been riding them a good chunk of the year. I think that trend continues. And until they prove me otherwise, I'm going to say this every single time I see a line with this team. Indiana Fever are terrible. I mean, they are so bad. So I like the Chicago Sky minus 10 here. And I think that's a very, very easy move for me until the Indiana Fever prove otherwise, that they're not a bad team. But, I mean, they're a bad team.
That they are. They are a bad team, like Kyle just said. So I like the Storm here too, minus 8.5. I usually wouldn't bet on a game against 2 teams that have a combined 3 wins in 16 games, but oh man, I'll take the Sky too. Candace Parker, I don't know. She's got to feel a little. Yeah, am I questioning her decision to head back to Chicago? Maybe. Obviously, the Sparks aren't having a good year either. They're a little banged up, but Candace Parker goes back to her hometown of Chicago, and they're 2-7, 0-5 at home. They get a win here tonight at home. I think they cover 2, minus 10. I also like the over. I think that's my favorite play, though, out of these 2 games. The over, 158.5 there in Chicago, as the Fever and Sky are going to put up some points here, hopefully, today.
Yep, hopefully so.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Let's hear your favorite bets. You can tweet at us at Coda Cappers, of course, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, of course, and Twitter. But if you want to find our best bets, that's where you go, at Coda Cappers on Twitter. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Coda Capper Pace, and Kyle, of course, at Commdog, Kommdog. If you haven't listened to episode 18 of the Gambling Feud podcast, go listen to that. It just dropped this morning at 7 a.m. on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course Google Play. And of course, episode 49 of the Mount Lockmore podcast with B. Russ and myself will be out tomorrow morning. It might just be a one-man show, as B. Russ is headed down south for a bachelor party. So he should have fun there. He's going to hit up one of the Carolinas. I can't remember it. But again, check that out as it'll drop in the morning. So Kyle, any of the last thoughts before we wrap it up here?
Nope. It's as I always say, it's a great day to have a good day. Let's go cash some bets.
Absolutely. Again, you can check out our website too for free pick articles. We got more bloggers coming to the mix. I'm going to be doing a blog about an NHL team that I'm going to, hitch my fandom to moving forward here, as now I'm a big hockey guy. So you can find that out later today. So again, CodexSportsCappers.com, and we'll see everybody in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Everybody have a great day, and let's cash those bets.
Let's have a day.